Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome into this week's edition of the WTOC First Alert Weather Podcast. Myself, Andrew Gorton, with Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley. Dave, how are you doing on this comfortable Wednesday?
Yeah, things are going all right today. We are recording this on May 10th, and we're in store for some nice but cooler weather. And that's what we're going to be talking about in here today. Chatting, as you see there, our first 90-degree weather, but some changes coming up, which have already started today.
Yeah, this is kind of that transitional period for us, but we did hit 90 degrees on Tuesday, and it had been a while since we had reached that mark.
Yeah, and we are officially going to be seeing those temperatures cooling down. 90 was our first time we hit it on May 9th of 2023, and you're looking at the graphic there, which shows going back to 2017 when we saw our first 90-degree, and it's either March or May. No April's in there since 2017. Yeah.
How strange is that?
That is kind of weird there, but definitely looking at something that is nice. You don't want to get a lot of 90s early because that's going to come June, July, August.
Man, we have plenty of that. 4 months of that. Even going into September of last year, the last time we hit 90 was, the 22nd of September, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, it was a little bit suspect because we had that missing data officially because they had something wonky with the center at the airport. We have our official measurement. So the last official 90 was, I think, the 22nd, as you mentioned, but I think we were close to that at the end of the month, but we'll never know. So
yeah, end of September was the last time we were in the 90s, and we were there Tuesday, and we're enjoying this little cool spell here with highs in the lower 80s. But to Dave's point, getting into Mother's Day weekend, 90s are back there on the horizon, at least the potential for them on Sunday.
Yeah, so what happened, we had the 90 yesterday. We had a cold front move on through. So cooler air moving in, northeasterly winds. We are going to see highs a little bit more seasonal, if not maybe a little bit below average. Some low 80s here for Wednesday, Thursday, into Friday. Then as we move into Mother's Day weekend, we start to warm up mid-80s there on Saturday. Mother's Day looks to be back into the 90s, but it's not going to last long. There will be a little bit of a cool down coming up.
Yeah, there's going to be a trough in there that weekends going into next week. Then that allows for rain chances to go up slightly. This time of the year, it's very typical for us to put, a 30 to 40% chance in the forecast for that afternoon, early evening window. And, signs are kind of pointing back toward that for next week. And even a few models are starting to come into agreement of a slight chance of rain on Mother's Day. So, a lot of people will do more of a brunch or a lunch. Right now, I would say that's fine. It looks good. Take mom out, treat her nice. But weather-wise, still looking pretty good. Just a little bit warm for this time of the year. So if you're going to a service, going to brunch or lunch, I definitely want to go more so with that early summer type of outfit.
Yeah, our normal highs this time of the year are about 85, I think, getting in there into our Mother's Day weekend. So, we're typically warm. 90 is a few degrees above average, but nothing that's too crazy.
Right.
But we do have that slight chance for a shower. We'll be in the 90s again on Monday, and you mentioned that trough. We do have another cold front moving in. It looks like more of a Tuesday maybe. With our better chance for seeing some of that. So that'll be the transitionary day with another little bit of a cool down back into the 80s. So a brief warm up into the 90s, not a big stretch like we had. I think it was 2018. We had those hundreds for several days at the end of May.
It was 3 days in a row. Then we hit 99 or whatever. And then the next day, I think we hit 100 again. So we would have had our consecutive days of 5 in a row at 100 if we would have just barely gotten to that point. But either way, it's hot. I mean, I remember those days.
Is that your first year that you got here?
Yeah. It was 5 years ago. And I remember working, and some of the heat index values were pulling like 121.
It was hot.
It was the hottest I've felt in a very long time.
And thankfully, we don't have any of that heat in store for us the way it looks right now. So we're going to be a little bit below average, but then we get a little bit warmer coming up for our Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, relatively straightforward with the forecast, and we're cruising on another day closer to hurricane season. Thankfully, everything's pretty quiet, but next week some of those discussions start get going from the Hurricane
15th.
Center, and that just means it's knocking on the door. But sometimes in most cases, June 1st, the start comes with little fanfare. So hopefully it's just another day, and we don't have much to talk about because that would be to our advantage.
Yes. And we're going to keep things on the quiet side, it looks like, in here for today. So that looks like it's pretty much it for today.
Yeah, we'll take it. It was a kind of a quick little update for you guys. Of course, you can always reach out to us on social media if you have any questions about the forecast. But for now, we're going to wrap it up for Dave Turley and myself. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week and a happy and safe Mother's Day weekend.